Hey, Nick, don't remember what episode it is at all, but welcome, and I don't want to do an intro personally. Do you have an intro?
I think it's episode 124, if I remember correctly. And if I'm wrong, it's 125.
Wonderful. Play the music. Eating Soup Alone is a podcast hosted by me, Christopher Crumley, and co-hosted by Nicholas Johnson. We try our best to ramble incoherently about a handful of movies at least once a week. Boy-o. So have you seen 8 Mile before?
Yeah, I saw it forever ago.
Have you seen Four Brothers before?
Nope, never seen it.
Let's talk about them in numerical order. Four Brothers. This is your first watch.
First watch, you?
I've seen it before. It's, as I've mentioned before, it's like a.
Well, I would say the most surprising part of this movie for me is when I pulled it up on Amazon Prime, it said resume.
Yeah, when I pulled it up on Amazon Prime, which was my mother's, it said start over.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah, but no, but it is definitely like a Detroit kind of cult classic.
I didn't know that. Never knew it was in a.
I've seen it. I remember watching it kind of early December as a child. Maybe seen it a couple of times. The one thing I remembered is the scene where Mark Wahlberg's taking a dump while his brother takes a shower.
Yeah, perplexing.
And then I remembered that brother dies, and that's all I really remembered.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we just go?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah, not a good movie.
Yeah.
But
it has moments that I enjoy. But
no, I love the movie though.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I was rocking with this. I was already not to because I don't like Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And I was really primed to.
I would say this movie is good to fine if Mark Wahlberg was played by anybody else.
The thing that immediately switched it for me was like it started playing, and the whole time it kind of has like blaxploitation music playing.
Yeah.
And I just immediately pulled up the Wikipedia as the movie started because I was watching it with my cousin, and it said like it's blaxploitation influenced, which I think they're just saying because it's a blaxploitation movie from 2003, so it's not technically blaxploitation, but it's a blaxploitation film. It's like, to me, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I feel like I'd rather watch this than most of the James Bonds I've seen.
Okay.
Like to me, it plays like your friends tried to make a James Bond style action movie.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because you have like Vic Sweet's like.
Yeah, he's
the best part of the movie too.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, all right. I know I'm jumping ahead, but like just real quick, like the first time you like meet him,
dude, he's so fucking funny.
I know, he's in that restaurant, which you find out I guess is his restaurant, and he's given a powerful monologue about evil, and his rotund henchman takes a bite of his food, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he's like, "No, it's okay." He's like, "Oh, I guess you're hungry. Dogs gotta eat." He's like, "Well, eat, dog, eat!" And the guy eats off the floor.
So fucking funny.
And I thought, so disrespectful.
Uh-huh.
Very James Bond. And then his girlfriend or whatever's at the other end, he's like, "Join your man. Get down there, dog. Eat with your dog boyfriend."
My favorite part of it is she says something. He's like, he tells her to be quiet or else you'll be over there eating with him. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. You're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Or like later when he makes the congressman sit at the kids' table.
Oh, so
good.
disrespectful.
So fucking.
Because doesn't he get up to go sit at like another table or something like that? He's like, no, the kids' table.
No, I think he's
like
just
that.
like, go sit at the other table. And he's like, what other table?
Yeah,
he goes,
like,
the kids' table.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And then he says, "I'm gonna fuck your wife," to that guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
Well, fiance, but anyways.
Oh boy.
So, one of the earliest moments I remember pegging, like, I think I might like this, is like when they're doing that chase scene. I was like, I'm fucking with this heavy.
Yeah.
I was thrilled.
They're chasing the two assassins?
Yeah, and there's like this really cool thing where like they're both driving with their windows open, so like the way that it's shot
it looks
really cool, and the flurries coming by.
It looks like it's almost snowing in the car.
Yeah. And the other thing I think is like a little bit before that, when they're tracking down the guy with the afro.
Yeah.
There's this fucking awesome shot where it's like through the window of the apartment complex, and it zooms out real quick and then pans over to look down the hallway.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn. Just like cool like 70s blaxploitation shit like that, where I was like, this is fucking cool. Like,
I love the car chase. I wrote down, I made sure to put it in my notes that I love the car chase because one, we fucked up. This is a Thanksgiving movie. Yeah. Two, because it's starting to snow here and having to drive a bit slower and stuff like that. I was watching that and I was just like, oh, I've never thought about that. This is crazy. Like, such a fun idea. I don't think I've ever seen a car chase in the snow before. But the only thing that did get me is the bad guys drove into that snowbank and got stuck.
Yeah.
And they rammed into them, unstucking them. I'm like, that was your. You get out of the car then. That everybody.
Because of Bobby.
Everybody from Michigan knows they're not getting out of that ditch anytime soon. No. You get out and you shoot them then.
Bobby's hot-headedness, biting him in the ass. But yeah, okay, so I wrote some notes. I wrote down Mom's Amazon Prime Start Over. We talked about that already. You get the fucking... immediately, like, it's not that funny, but I know it's intended for humor. You see the cool car and the when the truth is found and the fuzzy dice, and then an old-ass white bitch gets out of it.
Yeah. Maybe a hot take.
Yeah.
I hate their fucking mom.
Don't like her. No, don't like her at all.
First scene with her, I'm like, hey,
yeah,
stay the fuck out of Darnell's business.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
If he wants to steal some candy, let him steal some candy. And also, don't tell fucking Samir how to run his store, all right? And as soon as those robbers came in, I'm like, this old biddy's going to try to intervene on this robbery, and that's how she's going to die. Yeah. Luckily, that's not what happened, but still.
We meet Terrence Howard as Lieutenant Green. I love Terrence Howard in this.
I liked him, but I think this movie has pacing issues.
Sure.
Where a lot of times characters will show up and I'll go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But he shows up with Fowler or whatever, and he gives it like just cheesy like old school 70s like he's just like, there's Jack, he's the rock star of the group. Like it's like A-Team type shit.
And I love that like he has to be like, yeah, there's only 4 fuck ups that she couldn't manage to fix, and like that's kind of like the whole thing of the movie is like, they're 4 bad dudes who got raised as brothers or whatever, but also Andre 3000 is not. He's just been a good guy his whole life.
Yeah,
he just happens to be there. Yeah. Also, didn't know Andre 3000 was in this movie. If I would have known that, I would have seen this movie years ago. Yeah. I was so like, I didn't see him in the credits because I'm sure it doesn't say Andre 3000.
Yes, it's Andre Benjamin. Yeah.
I wasn't looking at the screen during this scene, and I heard him talking. I was like, "There's no fucking way Andre 3000's in this movie."
So that was that was a very pleasant surprise.
Yes, I was very excited about it.
Then
they're at the funeral.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it because I went to a funeral the other day. Have you ever been to a funeral like this where it's all outside and just everybody shows up there outside to watch the casket go into the ground? Because I feel like that's how funerals are in every single movie. Yeah. I've never seen someone in a funeral home in a movie, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've been to that portion, but almost, I mean, when I was younger, I can remember more folks being at the actual burial portion. Mm-hmm. But especially these days, it's less common.
Yeah, I feel like the burial portion is for like closest family.
Super close family. I don't think it used to be. Because, like I said, I can remember like going, and there being like literal like rows of chairs set up. I'm talking about like in Tennessee when I was a kid, like my great grandma would die or something, and they had like released doves and shit. So I think it's like an old school thing. I think it used to happen like that, but nowadays it's become a much more like private. Like, hey, come to the viewing, and then we'll fucking.
Every time I see it in a
movie, put bag of bones in the bag of bones pile.
Every time I see it in the movie, I'm like, what is this fucking... This is Watchmen. Get out of here.
Yeah. They decide to go vigilante justice mode, right? Just kind of like while they're hanging out drinking.
Yeah.
They go to that like club, and they're like, Detroit police, and everybody scatters, right?
Yes, Okay, yeah. We can get back to what I wanted to say after.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
No, I just want to talk about them staying the night at their mom's house. Like, that's where they live now.
Yeah, well, just really quick, I was just going to say the first thing that I pegged as, like, crazy disrespectful is Mark Wahlberg's obsessed with pouring gasoline on human beings.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. Yeah.
He loves doing it. He pours it all over people. Anyways, you can go back for a second.
Like, that's, like, the most, like... If you hold a gun to somebody's head...
Yeah.
And go, tell me what I want to fucking know. And they say no, you can shoot them in the leg. Like, you have options to escalate it.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as you pour gasoline on somebody, that's the end of the line. You can't continue to interrogate them, so it's crazy. But I was laughing very hard when you're at their house and Mark Wahlberg is crying because he's so bad at it. Mm-hmm. Chris, I think Mark Wahlberg just sucks the fucking moon out of the sky. I hate him so much. I think he's such a bad actor.
He's jacked.
He's jacked as fuck. He looks great in the little black t-shirt.
He does.
But I just can't get over, especially after seeing Boogie Nights, that the only reason he works in Boogie Nights is because he doesn't get the joke.
Here's my pitch for you really quick.
Yeah.
Rewind the clock, and you've never met anybody related to Mac.
Okay.
In It's Always Sunny.
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg shows up as like his older brother or something like that, and it's just clear that that's who he wants to be. And
that's perfect.
And Mark Wahlberg's just doing what he does in this movie. Like, he's just that guy, and the whole time Mac is just like, he's so fucking cool. I want to be just like him.
Yeah, dude, I feel like they could do that now. I think Mark Wahlberg could show up tomorrow in an episode of Always Sunny. They'd be like, yeah, that's cool. I'm fine with that. Yeah, you don't have to rely on the clock. Yeah, it's great. That's a great idea. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Instead of
he's also in this fucking movie called where he like tries out to be in like the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what made me think of it. I think.
Oh.
It's called like We Are the Eagles or something. I don't know.
But think about this: rewinding the clock,
thinking,
making this movie.
Yeah.
Instead of Mark Wahlberg, it's Mac.
There you go.
That's pretty good. That's a motion picture right there. I'd watch that.
In his Detroit Gun T-shirt.
Absolutely. But
back to your thing about sleeping in the house, and he's crying, and he doesn't look good, and you said he's a bad actor.
He's very silly looking, but something that really made me really just like deeply sad as soon as I saw it. So when he goes into his mom's room and has to put her ironing board away, just that idea of like having to clean up a dead person that you love's stuff in their house that is very clearly left from like I'll get to this later, and then they never will. That's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, two things really quick. One thing that really rings close to home is when my mom's dad passed away. For like the week after, we did spend so much time in his house, just like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also just a few blocks off of like 9 Mile. It's just like a small like 700 square foot house, very similar to the situation in this film, you know. And then the other thing is what you're talking about. Yeah, I also was in a situation where I think I've mentioned it probably on the podcast before, but my grandmother passed away. Like she went in for surgery and then like passed. Same thing. Yeah, like it was like that was like especially surreal. As I spent a couple weeks living there, dog sitting for her, just surrounded by that kind of stuff. Like you know, just like grocery list on. You know what I mean? And like it got to a point where like eventually like I told my family, I was like, someone else has to come do this. I can't. That's really tough. I cannot be here anymore. I can't do that.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Yeah, that's
I appreciate it. But anyways, right about here is the zoom out through the window, pan to the hallway, which happens after they like. This is what I love. So,
go on.
In the very beginning, Terrence Howard says that some kids across the street playing basketball saw something.
Yes.
And immediately when that left his mouth, I literally turned to my cousin, my co-watcher, and I was like, well, look, it was dark outside and winter. Like, nobody was out there playing basketball. And so, when they pour gas in that guy, he's like, man, that's bullshit. The lights go off at 10. And then they drag him all the way there by gun. He's like, you better motherfucker hope the fucking things turn off. And then they don't. And they start walking away, but then they do. And he's like, see, I told you. And then Angel, my favorite brother, punches him for like no reason, but whatever. Angel's the one that's banging the Latina.
You know what? Yeah, Angel's my favorite brother. You're right. I was like, well, no, it's Andre 3000. And I'm like, no, it can't be. That would only be because I like Andre 3000. Yeah, you're right. It's Angel. Angel's the best brother. I am partial to Tron, though. The rocker brother. He's Tron in Tron 2. Or he's not Tron, but he's the main character in Tron 2. He's one of the Trons, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how many Trons there are.
I've seen Tron 2. I think it's Tron Legacy. Yeah. I haven't seen Tron 1. I don't know anything about Tron.
Yeah, I don't even know what can happen in Tron. I literally can't even fathom what happens in Tron. Is it like, are they in a video game world, or is that real life?
From what I understand from mainly Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's got to be like Ready Player One, but for the 80s.
Yes, I think Jeff Bridges gets sucked into a video game that he makes.
Right.
And he, the main character that you see everywhere, is not Tron. Tron is just his friend inside of Tron, which is also what the video game is called, I think. And Jeff Bridges and Tron have to go beat up a bad guy, I guess.
Is it Jeff Bridges in the original Tron?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then in Tron 2, I remember kind of, because I loved Tron 2 as a kid, like in middle school, because it was just a really good-looking movie, so I would just constantly put it on in the background. I think Tron is in the movie, but he has no speaking lines, and he's just like a henchman of the bad guy.
Right.
And like for a second at the end, he like has a change of heart and like saves everybody, and then dies immediately. But every time I think about it, I'm just blown away by how little of Tron is in Tron.
Interesting.
And how I've never seen Tron 1.
Yeah.
And I'm probably never going to see Tron.
Oh, you're saying it's not your pick for next week?
As those words were leaving my mouth, I was like, I think I'm going to pick Tron for next week.
Yeah, you're queuing it up pretty big.
Anyway, other brother's Tron.
Right. So I then wrote down I'd rather watch this than most of the James Bond movies I've seen.
Okay.
You're not feeling that though.
I'm not. No. Chris. We're so far away, but I'm so excited to get into like Pierce.
No,
Brosnan,
I'm still
James
excited.
Bond
Yeah,
movies.
I'm
It's
definitely
crazy.
excited, but
I don't want to watch these last like 3 Roger
there's been a
Moore
stretch
ones.
of like 7 or 8 that we've not enjoyed.
Yeah, and we're still in the thick of it, so I don't want to get back to it.
So you stand by that you'd rather watch this than most of the James Bonds you've seen?
You're right, because you're right. It's most of them. Like they're like a couple.
There's been like 2 or 3 we've liked so far.
A couple Sean
We're
Connerys,
gonna get to some goodies.
But yeah, right now we're in the trenches, and fuck, it sucks.
Then I wrote down Snowy Driving. We talked about that, and I wrote down Thrilled.
Yeah, Thrilled.
I was thrilled. Continue. Go ahead.
They backtracking a little bit.
Right, the basketball scene.
Before basketball, they are having Thanksgiving dinner before they go play hockey.
They keep hallucinating Mama.
Except
Bobby,
Mama,
because he gets his at the very end.
Oh yeah, I never put that together.
Yeah.
I talked about this a few episodes ago, I think, with one of the Child's Play movies where people are eating chili.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of mouth sounds and silverware clinking against plates. That's this whole scene as well, and it was driving me crazy.
Yeah,
Cut out the sound when Ghost Mom is talking, okay?
Yeah. Well, it's also one of those things where it's like they intentionally pipe in eating noises. They have to in every movie ever. And here's my thing, okay? I can't, outside of like egregious like nastiness, remember the sound of anyone ever eating.
Yeah.
Like if you and I were having dinner right now, I would not be able to hear you from here.
Yeah. I think it's probably one of those things where, like, before cell phones, if you picked up a phone, you got the dial tone, right?
Yeah.
Which you go, eh. But when someone hangs up, you don't then get the dial tone. But in every movie, someone hangs up a phone, you hear a click, eh. And I think that's one of those things where, like, sound editors are like, people will think it's weird if it's not in there.
Yeah.
And as someone who's not a sound editor, I think you're wrong.
Uh-huh.
And I feel the same way with eating stuff. It's just like it's just sound editors being like, I gotta make it seem like I'm important, all right?
Yeah.
Not saying that sound editors aren't important, but I'm just saying just like adding stuff that doesn't need to be added.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
But anyways, back to what you were saying. They're eating dinner.
I hate the eating sounds.
Yeah.
And then it's after they find out the basketball lights stuff.
Mm.
They go to the convenience store where she was shot, and the owner of the store goes, "Oh, yeah, I've got your mom dying on tape. I'll show it to you guys." Why would you watch it, and why would you show it to the 4 sons of this woman? It was mind-boggling to me. But then you're right. There's I loved his description. He's just like, always wearing sweats, never a jacket though. Doesn't matter how cold it is. I'm like, that's a great description of somebody that you would see coming in and out of your store every day. He goes, and then he's got one of the, and he like pantomimes an afro. Yeah. One of them goes, an afro, like, you know, Ben Wallace. And he goes, yes, the Pistons, because the Pistons were on fire that year. Everybody knows what an afro is. You don't have to say like Ben Wallace.
Yeah. They chase this guy down. They find him in his little apartment.
I love when he releases the hounds.
Yes, and it bites Bobby.
And I was just like, he's not going to shoot the dogs. And he starts shooting at the dogs. Yeah. And I love that the guy goes, hey, don't shoot my dogs, man.
Then the guy rappels out of the window, which is crazy. And they like kind of cut the rope and he falls and breaks his legs.
When they're like putting the gun out the window and shooting at him, I'm like, grab the rope and yank him back inside. What are you doing?
And I like how their interrogation thing is like they're just gonna walk away and like leverage, hey, we're the only person that's gonna be able to help you.
Yeah.
And Jack keeps looking back and they're like, fucking stop. But anyways, so earlier we talked about the dogs gotta eat scene, which fantastic. But the monologue that I alluded to, his evil monologue, is him talking about, he's like, I paid for out of town shooters. Somebody got in town shooters. I pay for out of town shooters so that they leave town. And he says that other thing about how he's like, you don't pay a hoe for sex, you pay her to leave after.
Yeah.
He's like, so now I paid for in-town shooters, and I've got in-town trouble. I've got in-town police.
Yeah, I love it. I think what he says is, he's like, you pay out-of-town shooters to be out of town.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to mention at least once, he's Mordo, Doctor Strange's friend. The whole movie, I was like, where do I know this guy from? And then I looked at him like, oh, fuck, he's Mordo.
Yeah. And then Angel, who goes on his little side quest, separate from this scene, finds out that Jeremiah is broke and might have gotten mixed up with some gangsters.
Yes. I love. You're right. This is very James Bond. I like how like so many things are happening kind of at once, and It also kind of doesn't really matter.
No, they're inconsequential, kind of.
I don't know when the...
It almost reminds me of like a Kiss Kiss Bang Bang without being funny, though.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as funny. But it has like that same quality of like, well, if it's on, I mean, we'll watch a little bit of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Ultimately, I think I'd probably give it like a C, maybe C+.
I think...
but we'll get there later,
we'll get there.
You know,
I don't remember if this happens after or before what you said. But when the cops come to talk to them about the 2 dead guys they found in the middle of the street.
Right, yeah, execution style, and he's bleeding on his hand. He's like, hockey, you know, Mercer tradition, you know, you used to play some hockey.
Insane that it takes the cops seemingly 12 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Just an exploded car and 2 dead guys in the middle of the street.
Yeah, it is over the top violence, and there's almost zero police in the city of Detroit besides seemingly Fowler and Lieutenant Green.
And I will say this is the one moment of this movie where I enjoyed Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Is when Terrence Howard goes, "Hey, we found your hair on one of the bodies." I said to myself, I was just like, "You found a hair on a guy in a blizzard?" And then Mark Wahlberg is just like, "Oh, that's the oldest trick in the fucking book." Yeah. And I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Love at the end when they're all getting interrogated.
And he smiles about it.
And,
yeah.
And he laughs about it. I'm like, "Oh, that's good. That was a really good payoff. I really enjoyed that."
It's pretty good. Yeah.
And Bobby says a bunch of racist shit to Angel's girlfriend just constantly throughout this movie.
He says the N-word also, yeah.
I wrote that down. I don't think Mark Wahlberg needed to say the N-word in this movie.
No. He calls someone a house N-word later.
Yeah, he was standing next to 2 black men when he was saying it. Yeah. You could have given it to one of them.
Yeah. But I don't really have anything written down about the Jeremiah Broke thing other than, like, I know that he, like, hangs around some bars, finds out about, Jeremiah basically, like, was confronted by Vic Sweet for Vic Sweet to get some action, and he denied Vic Sweet, so Vic Sweet sent, like, a councilman that he has paid off, Councilman Douglas, to, like, put the squeeze, the kibosh on his project, and so now Jeremiah's fucked. And now he's paying Vic Sweet... Mm-hmm. Because he owes Vic Sweet? Like, he gives that guy like $30,000 or something. He gives the guy with the goatee.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly why, but either way, I like how he shows up and he just tells Bobby he needs to go see some stuff. Mm-hmm. He doesn't come home and just say, like, oh, here's all the info. He's like, hey, you gotta tail Jeremiah for a second or whatever. But eventually, They also find out that there's that scene where he's fighting with his girlfriend Angel is, and the like AAA life insurance guy comes by and says like, oh yeah, there was an insurance policy, and looking real bad for Jeremiah. It's kind of looking like he might have killed Mama to get out of some debt. But they go to see that lawyer that said he didn't know their mom, but they've been fucking is what it is. But again, so disrespectful. The way they interrogate him is they put his shirt over his old white head and they start smacking his white belly. Yeah.
So funny.
And then I love that afterwards they're like, we broke one of your windows because we thought maybe you were involved in our dead mom stuff. He's like, I understand, boys.
Yeah. Also, I love to show that these people and this lawyer are from different worlds. Yeah. When he's pulling up, he's listening to Fur Elise in his car.
Yeah. The movie rocks. What can I say?
It's so funny.
I also wrote down Marky Mark, more like Sparky Spark, because Gasoline Part 2, he starts pouring gas on people again.
He does. I love that the congressman gets into his car and goes...
And then in the back, you see a shattered window.
Yeah. He's just like, I think something's off in here. Because also, you would get in your car and immediately you would go, it reeks like gas. You wouldn't go, what is it? Is my seat wet? You know, you'd be like, it reeks of gas inside of my car.
And I will say, again, I liked Terrence Howard. I like most people in the movie. Again, I don't even like Mark Wahlberg, but I liked him a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But when we get to the point where Terrence Howard sees that footage of his partner talking with the mom for over an hour and didn't mention it to him, the shoe dropping of like, oh, he's the crooked cop. And then he shows up and he gets a moment to be kind of cool like Terrence Howard does where he's like, oh, I think this sticks off. Worked fine for me or whatever. And he smacks the shit out of his hand or whatever.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I was like, why would you just take his badge and leave? That was the most unbelievable part of this movie for me.
And they shot him like a dog in the street.
You would arrest him.
Shot him like a dog
in the street. Also,
R.I.P.
We're going to get to the big shootout in a second, so I missed my chance to bring this up.
Sure.
Every time they have to pull a gun on somebody or do their shootout stuff, I think it's so fucking funny that there are 4 brothers that own 2 guns.
Yeah.
That guy just has to have a tire iron the whole movie.
Yeah. And I also take a moment to say that in the bowling alley, Jesus Walks by Kanye West is playing, which is crazy because as big as Kanye is, you never hear his music in a movie.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So I was just like, what the hell? That's crazy. Marky Mark said house N-word.
Oh, also, what's the song that Tron is singing in the back seat? At some point, they're waiting for the Ben Wallace guy to get
I know what
home.
you're talking about. He's like wiping the fog away from the window, but I can't remember what he's singing now.
He's singing something that like I just like added to like my Spotify.
Oh, pretty far back. Is kind of a way back.
Yeah,
that
was
was a
just
throwback.
Like, all right, I like this song, and it was like yesterday I did it, and then I saw this movie. I was like, oh fuck, that's crazy. Hold on, let me look at my.
Well, while you're talking, we already covered this, so I'm just gonna read these out.
Plastic Jesus.
Okay, by who?
Teal Blake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wrote down Vic Sweet just because I wanted to remember the guy's name. Then I wrote down Sit at the Kids Table. We covered that just
so good. So
great.
Good.
Yeah, because he's just like, I didn't tell him anything, Vic.
I wrote down Mordo is so fucking funny.
Yeah. Then I wrote down Vic Sweet Fucks Wives. And then I wrote down The Big Hit. Why did I write down The Big Hit? Oh, that's right, because there's a crazy shootout where they roll up on the spot.
Someone knocks on the door and goes, "Your mom's a whore," and runs away. And
it's one of the most over-the-top gun fights I've seen in a movie. It was almost on like face-off levels of like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, yeah, it reminds me of The Heat. Like he chases that guy down, and he turns around and he's Jason, and he blows him apart like with a bunch of guns.
Yeah, and then a bunch of machine guns come out and shoot him 9 more times, and he's like drooling. He's like, "Mommy!"
Yeah, I wrote down. Oh. I did write down how long is Tron gonna die for because it was just crazy. Yeah, like this went on for so long, and the entire time he's just.
But it's kind of baller in that way of like how funny it can be that like they keep showing the same angle of an explosion.
Yeah,
it's that kind of like there's a pleasure to it in the sense of like how long is this guy gonna die? This is ridiculous.
It's so funny cutting back to him every single time. It's just him going.
One of the most indulgent things ever.
So funny, and I don't know why it was so fun. I mean, I don't want to be done with the shootout. Yeah. But the shootout is so...
I mean, what can you say about it?
It's intense and goes on for so long.
It is intense, though. It is intense.
I love that when the cops come, they're just like, all right, you guys get out of here.
Yeah, I love that Terrence Howard, because I don't think Terrence Howard has died yet. He's like, self-defense.
It's like, it's crazy.
Yo, you rock!
Love it.
But I love that Mark Wahlberg's out of bullets, so he bricks that guy.
It's so funny.
The brick is crazy.
Great move by Angel. I love when he runs upstairs and he can see the 2 bedrooms and he shoots through the window in the left bedroom and then goes into the other bedroom. I'm like, oh, that was really cool.
Really clever, yeah. Cool. You know, and that's another reason why he's one of my favorite brothers. But another thing is, I think the actor who plays him, in 2020, Instagram posted about how there's a sequel being written called Five Brothers.
Oh, who's the 5th? Who's the 6th? They have to get another one. One of them died.
That's true. But yeah, I would say that this much like this, you know, there was a really cool chase scene. This is a pretty cool shootout. They shoot the fuck out of that house. I mean, that gaping hole in the brick is crazy. So that rocked. Yeah, Terrence confronts his partner. I talked about that, and I said, no way, Terrence gets killed. Sad face, rip.
I wrote down 3 brothers because one of them died.
Right. Then they devise this plan. There's this like end plan where each brother has to play a role, kind of. Jeremiah's like, yo, let's take the $400,000 insurance money and pay off Vic Sweet. So he gets like picked up by the lackeys and taken to the middle of frozen over Lake St. Clair, if you're curious.
Oh yeah, I was wondering. I was like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Something I really liked before we get too far past it. I like when they do confront Andre 3000.
Yeah.
And I love the line of him being like, "You think I did this because I was paying bills?" Yeah. I just like him being
like, "Where have you guys?
I've been fucking taking care of mom. What the fuck?
I've been paying all of her bills."
I wish that there was a little bit more to that, but I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah,
sorry,
it's good.
Like St. Clair.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's the one thing going on, and then
Angel's got the cop in his house.
Yeah, Fowler. His whole thing is that he has to like make sure that Fowler doesn't make it. He's supposed to kill Fowler. There's like a double switcheroo where like, accidentally, I think unbeknownst to him or beknownst to him, his girlfriend goes and tells the police. Okay, probably beknownst.
Yeah. Maybe.
But he lies and says he's got a wire. But I think he knew that they would that he'd be believed because the police would show up because of his girlfriend.
Yes. Okay.
And so the switcheroo happens like that they're there because they think that the police officer is being held hostage, but then Fowler's all worked up thinking that they're out for him, so when he goes outside he's actually got the guy in hostage, and they end up shooting him.
Most unbelievable part of this movie, those cops shoot him in the leg.
Yeah.
Something I don't understand about the big switcheroo.
Yeah.
One, I laugh very hard when he puts the bag over Fowler's head, starts saying stuff to him. He can't hear you. There's a big bag over his head.
Yeah. All he can hear is his breathing, his attempts at breathing.
And Marky Mark and Andre 3000 are standing in Andre 3000's house while those guys are knocking on the door.
Right.
We can't go anywhere with them until we know that he has Fowler.
Yeah.
Those guys knocking on his door are in on it. Uh-huh. What are we doing there?
What do you mean?
Remember at the end where they're just like, hey, we're giving all that money to your goons, so they're not your goons anymore. Those goons are knocking on Andre 3000's door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. I get it. Probably after that, on the ride there, Andre 3000 was just like, I'll pay you guys.
Maybe.
Okay.
I never thought about that specific part. Because I know the whole thing with Fowler is that, like, if he's there, he doesn't think Vic Sweet's going to go for it. So you have to make Fowler disappear. But I wonder... Yeah.
I would say
maybe it was on the drive over.
On the drive to like St. Clair. I'd say that's probably where it happened.
But anyways, there's that shoe drops, and he says, like, yeah, basically, me and old boy here used to work in the union, and we're unionizing, bitch.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so which one of you guys is going to be man enough to do it? And then Bobby just walks out.
Yeah, he walked the whole way. Nobody saw him coming.
Yeah, and then they just duke it out on the ice.
I don't know who it should have been, but for some reason it felt really bad that Mark
He shouldn't have been the hard R-word guy, no.
No, it shouldn't have been Bobby who takes down the big bad guy. It should have been...
Angel.
I'd like to have seen Angel there.
Angel.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then they get interrogated. They get beat by the cops for, like, who killed Vic Sweet? Who killed Vic Sweet? And they're like, we fucked your mom. And then they move into Mom's house and
fix her up,
live together forever. So overall, fun. C+.
I give it C-.
Great. I'm gonna write down C+, C-. All right. You pausing? Is that what you're doing?
No, I was just switching my notes.
Oh, well, you should pause because I'm going to get a cup of Joe for part 2.
So,
much like finding out that Andre 3000 was in Four Brothers, to find out that Michael Shannon was banging Eminem's mom was crazy. To find out
Captain America is the guy that he's rap battling at the end.
Captain... Oh, right.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie's Captain America now. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know what your history is with this movie, Chris.
Yeah.
But my history with this movie is just... I not to sound too cool or hipster or like I liked this thing before anybody else, I feel like I've always thought Eminem was pretty fucking corny.
Sure.
And so growing up, everybody watching this movie and liking this movie, I've seen bits and pieces of this movie and maybe seen the whole thing at least once.
Yeah.
I always just like, this is fucking so corny, and I'm just really not into it. And I watched this movie today while having a migraine. Couldn't get it to go away. All those things considered, this movie ain't that bad, Chris.
Yeah.
I if I see anything about Eminem nowadays, all I can think of is awfully hot coffee pot. Right. And I'm like, God, you're so fucking corny. But seeing young, for some reason, 2002 Eminem is so fucking endearing to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why. He just really got me in this movie.
Yeah, I got like 3 things to say. One, the first thing is that, like, and you can hear it as like a fan of, like, you know, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, people like that. Like, their favorite rappers is Eminem.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah.
Full stop. And that's something that, like, Tyler's even, you know, said verbally, but then has also been like, he's put out just garbage records for the last, like, 10 years, to which Eminem then called them the F slur in a song. He got in trouble. But, so that's one thing to keep in mind is, like, yeah, what you're talking about, like, that era of Eminem. I'm not super well versed now. I mean, I was into it like most people were kind of in middle school a little bit, but, like, I do have a respect for, like, that, like, 98 to 2002 probably Eminem for sure.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I do like Lose Yourself. I enjoyed Mockingbird when I heard it growing up.
Yeah, I like Without me, you know.
To this day, I'll rock out to My Band by D23.
Like when he says that line where he's like, I've been dope, suspenseful with a pencil ever since Prince turned himself into a symbol. That's crazy.
And yeah, it's undeniable that he's, or at least used to be, pretty fucking good at what he does.
He's just corny now. He's got the ability, but he's not saying anything interesting anymore.
It's just Logic to me now, you know? Every time I hear him or Logic, I just think of the other one. And I'm like,
like what he's doing, what he's going for, I would just rather like listen to MF Doom do.
Yeah, I can see that.
You get what I'm saying? Like, because what he's trying to do is like the intricate, like, don't mind me. I wrote this rhyme lightly off of 2 or 3 high knees, and boy was they fine G. 1 black, 1 Spanish, 1 Chinese. That's MF Doom though. Like, but it's the same thing. Like, it's what Eminem's trying to do now, but he's just corny. He doesn't have the same kind of like swagger about it, you know.
It's because he's not a young hungry kid. He's a fucking billionaire grandfather now.
Yeah. But anyways,
and also his daughter is our age and went to high school with 3 people that I know, and I was at their graduation. So also in the back of my mind, he's just some girl's dad that I know.
And she got married the other day.
Yeah.
Well, not the other day, but she got married. And,
good for her.
And I did see a video of him crying to her saying she's pregnant. That was pretty endearing.
It was.
I like him as a figure. I just don't know that he should be rapping anymore. Like, it reminds me of like the Andre 3000 situation where like he kind of quit while he's ahead. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. And there's a bunch of folks who still have nothing but respect for him. Like, you know, 50 Cent all the time is like, there's a very famous quote. You can look at the video of him literally saying verbatim, hip-hop is a black genre, and there are a lot of people that are mad that there's a white guy that does it better than anyone. That's what he had to say about Eminem. Mm. But and that there's also plenty of conversation about, like, you know, like I've seen plenty of people being like, yo, he's a white boy. He sucks, you know. Like, I remember I had this one clip of someone on the Breakfast Club. I can't remember who it is, but he's like, I don't play Eminem in my car. You play Eminem in your car? He's like, yeah, if you drop something new. He's like, you're sliding around in your car listening to Eminem, you and your girl. He's like, yeah, if you drop something. But just like the way that he's like so judgmental, being like, you're sliding around in your car.
So funny. Yeah, I feel like I was really worried about this movie going back to it because I thought it might be like, I can't remember who said it, but it was a critique of like one of Clint Eastwood's latest movies.
Sure.
The Mule.
Yeah.
Where like the whole point of it is like, hey, 90-year-old Clint Eastwood, 90-year-old white man Clint Eastwood can be a drug mule for the Mexican cartel better than any Mexican can do it.
Yeah.
So I felt like this movie might have that kind of thing to it, like unintentionally being like, this white kid can do it way better than anyone here can. But I kind of like that I feel like you don't really hear him rap at all in this movie. It's just him getting his dick kicked into the dirt all day long, and at the end just kind of exploding in rap, you know?
Second thing, real quick though, his mom did actually die like 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, I was so sorry to hear that. Rest in peace, Eminem's mom. I'm sorry I called you corny.
What's her name? Doesn't she say it all the time? And Kim's his wife.
Okay.
Or his ex-wife.
Okay. I don't know his mom's name.
Martha Mathers?
Why does his mom in this movie have a southern accent, though?
I don't know. Well, because I think... See, this is the weird thing where the movie like is not an autobiography.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that it is so close to Eminem's story.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Because his mom, like, while he was raised in Detroit, like, I think his mom, like, he was technically, like, born in Mississippi or something like that, but then, like, his mom moved to Africa when he was, like, 2 or 3 or something. So I think his mom is a little Southern.
Okay, I know that.
But it's like, why even do that since this movie's not an autobiography about Eminem?
Yeah. Oh, back to Four Brothers.
Because she's in a trailer park, I guess?
I guess.
Go ahead, yeah.
Back to Four Brothers for a second. I like when they're going through their mom's stuff, and Andre 3000 gets his birth certificate and goes, oh, Henry Ford Hospital. Sick, I am from Detroit.
Yeah. But, so yeah, back to the film. The other thing I wanted to say is, you may know this because I know you looked at the Wikipedia. Insane that this is directed by the guy who co-wrote and directed LA Confidential.
LA Confidential, yeah, blows my mind.
What
Crazy.
the fuck?
Like, how?
What the fuck?
Because
you put these two next to each other, and this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
I don't hate it that much, but I'm just saying, like, this is not a good movie.
Yeah, like I said, all things considered, I don't think this movie's that bad. I didn't hate watching it today.
Sure.
But yeah, knowing it's by the guy who directed LA Confidential, I'm like, this is fun.
It'd be like finding out Four Brothers was a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah. It's
You'd be like, what? What do you mean?
It's like, it's crazy.
Anyways, but so yeah, so My history with it is I definitely have seen it, but it never really left an impression with me outside of the rap battle at the end. I, like most people from around here, I know that I know a couple of people who had this. Even my dad admitted that sometimes when he's drunk, he just looks up the rap battle from the end. But as a kid, I downloaded that bitch off LimeWire. I had the show on my MP3. Yeah. I was just walking around. His real name is Clarence. Clarence lived at home with both of his parents, and Clarence's parents have a real nice marriage. You went to Cranbrook. It's a private school.
I couldn't find it because I wanted to send it to you, but there's like a meme I remember seeing on Twitter forever ago where like somebody just replaces that dialogue or replaces that rap with something else, and like it cuts to one of the women in the audience and she goes, oh, like it's someone else doing that, and it just makes me laugh every time when I saw it in here. It reminded me of it. Couldn't find it because that's just the nature of memes. I
did see a meme where like Papa Doc or Lotto or whatever goes first. And he's like, why don't you take your white ass back across 8 Mile? And he like basically just says everything Eminem's gonna say. And like the joke being that basically Eminem wins that battle because he gets to go first.
Yeah. But I felt this when Four Brothers started. I always feel so dumb whenever it happens. Whenever a movie happens in Detroit and it shows parts of Detroit, and I go, I've been there. Yeah. Something I didn't like about Four Brothers. There's that beginning shot of Mark Wahlberg driving around, and I got to go,
the train station, and he's downtown, yeah.
But I feel like for the rest of the movie, it could just be anywhere.
Sure.
Something I really liked about 8 Mile is there's no, like, from what I can remember, of like landmarks or like staples of Detroit anywhere.
But they're clearly on 8 Mile and stuff sometimes, and they're just walking and stuff, and I'm like, damn, okay.
But yeah, so much of this movie, I'm like, oh yeah, this looks exactly how it's supposed to look.
Yeah.
That's something I will give this movie. I think this movie looks really good.
Yeah.
Or looks...
But I know really something about you.
And I think it's got that like weird like post-Fight Club like kind of washed out bluey green look to it, but I don't think it's too aggressive.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, everything looks like it's supposed to look kind of grungy and dirty, and you know it's a guy living in a trailer park. But I feel like they don't really go out of their way to make it look that way. Yeah. Everything just kind of exists in a very natural, real way. And I just really enjoy how this movie looks.
When I hear Lose Yourself, I think of Cars. I always think of Cars.
Like Ka-chow?
No, it just sounds like a car commercial now to me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I get that.
I'm seeing black and white shots of Detroit.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. But we open up and he's just in the bathroom, splash water on his face, throwing up, mom spaghetti, and he chokes. And for the rest of the movie, everybody's dogging on him for the choking thing.
I love at this first rap battle, such a sick burn. I can't remember what the first part of the rhyme is, but the second part is 16 Mile Road is that way.
Oh, yeah.
And as somebody who grew up on 15 Mile Road, I'm like, fuck, that cuts.
That cuts. That's a cutter, for sure. We find out that he's got this girlfriend named Janine, and she's pregnant, and he's leaving her the car, but they're breaking up. He's got nowhere to stay.
I saw a clip from this actress the other day. Like, it was just like a headline with a picture of her.
Yeah.
Where she was just like, kind of sad and not happy that she was just typecast as white trash because people just think she looks like white trash.
Yeah.
I saw her in this movie. I'm like, yeah, you just
Brittany
do.
Murphy.
Not Brittany Murphy.
The other one?
The other girlfriend.
The other girlfriend. Oh, Janine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those, the like kind of essence thing where everybody just has an essence. So if you're an actor, sorry, you're just going to get typecast that way. But I'm like, yeah, you do just kind of look, and I can't explain it, but you just do.
Don't know how to fit it in, but it's very funny to me that Michael Shannon has a band. They have an album out there.
Really?
And but he just stopped because he was like, I just do not want to be the guy who's an actor and then also does music. Like, I do not want to be that guy. So he just stopped. He's like, I'm going to write music for me and do my thing for sure, but I'm not going to be the actor who also has a band.
I respect the hell out of that.
I really respect it, yeah.
Have you seen the interview with not Tom Petty, Billy Bob Thornton when he was in his band? He was like doing some radio interview, and they were like asking him what his influences are.
Yeah, and he was like, probably that one record from Michael Shannon.
And he was like, got really mad at them.
Yeah.
And like, hey, you're not treating me like a musician. You're treating me like an actor who just happens to be a musician. He was like, if you were sitting here talking to Tom Petty, would you ask him who his influences are? And there's a beat, and the radio host goes, yeah. That's so fucking good.
Speaking of Billy Bob Thornton, something I've been meaning to watch for a long time is Sling Blade. That's his like ballpark movie. Yeah. That's supposed to be the role of a lifetime for him. So
I thought you meant it was a baseball movie.
No,
I was like, no, that's Bad News Bears. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, no, I've never seen Sling Blade either. I don't think I'm very familiar with Billy Bob Thornton's.
No, I was gonna suggest Bad Santa because Christmas is coming up.
Yeah,
you're not feeling that though.
We could.
Or Or do we do Tron and Sling Blade?
I wouldn't be opposed to Bad Santa at all. Anyway, enough about Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, enough with Billy Bob Thornton. Enough with Billy Bob Thornton. He's working on a stamping plant. He's got some friends. There's Cheddar Bob, and what's his other friend's name?
Oh, I don't know.
The one that hosts the rap battles.
Future.
Future, and then he has the friend who's like, we need some cars and some bitches, and we got the other friend that's like, nah, man, we need stocks and bonds.
Yeah,
And I will say at this point, this movie is very like theatrical.
Yeah,
it's very like almost West Side Story-ish. Like when rap battles like break out, it's like, all right, we're the free world, and like jump on top of a car, and they'll be like, we'll rap battle any of you pussies, you know. And it just has like this thing like that, plus like the way that like each of those friends are supposed to be the dueling sides of hip hop. Like he's the one that's like, yeah, we gotta fight the power. He's like, nah, man, we gotta get drunk and fuck. And it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's when they are in that parking garage. Yeah, they pull up in their car and there's just different groups of people like standing in circles rapping. I'm like, does this happen? Like, is this like? Am I
in LA Confidential man's idea of how rap works? I think
yeah, because I was thinking about it. I was like, if this does happen, I understand I wouldn't be invited to it, so I would never know about it. But also like, I was like, there's no way that this can just happen. Maybe in 1995 it would happen because no one has a phone, but it just felt a bit strange to me.
Yeah. So yeah, they hang out. They're beefing with the free world. We're introduced to that whole thing. He meets Brittany Murphy. He's got a crush on Brittany Murphy. Future is hosting the rap battles and trying to give him a platform to get on stage. But he's trying to say, like, basically, like, man, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't want to just get the respect of this room. And so the other side of that coin is there's this guy who's like, man, I'm going to get you a record deal. And there's this whole thing where, like, Future is like, don't trust that guy. He's talking shit. And the other guy's like, man, don't trust Future. Future's just a guy who hosts rap battles. Like, what the fuck, you know? And so there's this, like, duality of, like, it's almost like, you know, it's like, I suppose it's like the musician struggle. It's like, oh, stay independent and, you know, hang on to your integrity, or, like, sell out and try to go, you know, make a name for yourself, whatever. And that's rubbing up against each other. Him and Brittany Murphy start boning. And honestly, when he shows up at that radio show and record label guy's banging her, I was like, God damn.
Oh, I was pretty bummed out. Yeah.
Pretty bummed out.
Pretty brutal.
But she telegraphs it the whole time because she's like, I'm going to be a model. I'm going to move to New York. Whatever you got to do. Like, when she goes to that photo shoot, there's like that point where Brittany Murphy says to him, like, are you going to record a record with that guy? He's like, yeah. And she's like, I want to be there when you do it. But then when she gets dropped off at the photo shoot, he's like, can I come up? Because he wants to reciprocate. And she's like, no, you stay here. And I was like,
yeah, because she kind of like, it's strange because, it feels like she knows she's probably going to have to bang someone when she goes up there.
Yeah.
But she shows up later at his work, and then she's at the rap battle at the end. And both times, I was just like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I was so mad for Eminem.
Be a rabbit.
I was like, and I didn't understand how that isn't the only thing he was saying to her is, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
There's also like the abandoned house thing where like some little girl got raped in an abandoned house. So they're gonna burn down the house because if the house wasn't there, then it wouldn't have happened and stuff.
Yeah, I think this is at this point where they're burning down the house. I wrote down, what is Cheddar doing here?
I don't know.
And I just hated Cheddar.
Yeah.
As this movie went on, I'm like, this guy's just
MC Bob.
MC Bob is just dumb and here.
Yeah.
And, like, that's this whole thing. And
like, when Eminem goes into his house, and he's just like, I didn't want the other guys to make fun of me for shooting myself.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, good. You should feel shame for shooting yourself.
He brought a 6-shooter, too. It's such
crazy.
a funny gun.
But then the more I think about it, I was just like, no, actually, you know what? I think I've run into 1,000 MC Bobs in my life. Yeah. Like, a group of guys that I'm like, I might have even had an MC Bob in a friend group of mine, just being like, this guy's just dumb and he's just here. He's just grandfathered into the group and it makes sense. And everyone's just like, Cheddar ain't hurt nobody. So yeah, Cheddar can hang out, I guess.
Yeah. I love just real quick on a side note, just there's a couple of times where they're just like 5 or 6 deep in a car just rolling around listening to music. It's classic Detroit stuff. Anyway,
it made me long for that. It's been
especially like winter, you know, it's like cold outside and you're just 6 deep in a fucking Sebring listening to fucking what the hell's that guy's name? The bandage on his nose pop star.
Nelly?
No, more recent than that.
Oh, I don't know.
You know, he's huge. Megan loved him.
Did Nelly? No, I'm not thinking of Nelly. I'm thinking of Neo, probably. whoever did Country Grammar. I want to say Neo.
I'm thinking of, I'm talking about the guy who can't feel his face, but I love it.
Oh, The Weeknd?
Yeah, The Weeknd.
I don't think The Weeknd has a bandage on his nose.
He did for that character. He did a character for like a year for one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I love The Weeknd.
Anyways, all I'm saying is like you're listening to The Weeknd because Megan's really into it right now, and she's driving for some reason.
Yeah. Real quick, this might be old news, but do you know about Brittany Murphy's death?
I know that she is an actress who overdosed, kind of like a River Phoenix type deal.
Incorrect. She died on December 8th.
Yeah.
December 20th, 2009.
Oh, yeah, and it's non-conclusive, but the drugs contributed or something like that. Said to have
She died of like a very serious case of pneumonia.
Yeah.
And the drugs that they found in her system were just over-the-counter shit to deal with pneumonia.
Okay. So you think she was murdered? You're looking at me like you think she was murdered.
January, next month, husband dies of pneumonia. Has to be.
How do you give somebody a pneumonia?
Has to be mold in the house.
Okay.
And as like
they should check that factory that.
That's the running theory, and like at one point, like her mom was just like that. The mold thing is crazy, whatever. And then I think
she got pneumonia.
Very shortly after, her mom was like, "You know what? Actually, it was probably mold."
Yeah.
And so I think that's the running theory is that there was just like black mold in their house. They killed them. It's crazy. Crazy.
Anywho, also, there's the point very early in the movie where he comes home to Michael Shannon banging his mom.
Yeah.
His mom has he has a younger sister that he's always trying to kind of protect. His mom does not work and lives in a trailer park, and Michael Shannon is supposed to be getting some big settlement. Michael Shannon also went to school with Eminem.
I know. When he showed up, I was just like, is Michael Shannon older than Eminem? And then when they were like, we went to school together, I'm like, oh, okay, that tracks.
Also, just humiliating. It'd be horrible for that to be the situation.
It really
she
would.
Gives him a car for his birthday, but it doesn't run, so he has to get it running.
It made me laugh so hard.
Yeah. And also she wins $3,000 in bingo.
Yeah,
and that's how she avoids eviction.
Didn't know you could play bingo for that high stakes.
No. And that pretty much is just about everything other than Cheddar Bob shooting himself in the leg, which we talked about already. So we're at the rap battle, basically.
Oh, his mom's Vicky Vale. That's who it is.
She's also in LA Confidential.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she's What actress is she supposed to look like? I can't remember offhand.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what LA Confidential's about. Yeah. I don't remember. If I'm being perfectly honest.
A whore cut to look like Lana Turner is still a whore. She just happens to look like Lana Turner. That is Lana Turner. What? That is Lana Turner.
A few things before the very end of the movie. One, since we don't have James Bond anymore, shout out, most disrespectful part of this movie is when that guy staying on the car, Eminem pulls his legs out.
Yeah.
Always gets me. Always funny. When him and Brittany Murphy are at his work, when he's like, we should go on a date, and she goes, you should take me somewhere now. And they do the thing, and she is telling them about it. She's like, I think you're really going to make it. I think you're really going to do it. Chris, can you imagine hooking up with somebody and them immediately going, I think you're going to be pretty successful in your career?
Yeah.
I would be like, I think we should get married.
It's pretty good.
Chris, you're absolutely right. They kind of just fuck around until the rap battle.
Yeah.
Shit just kind of happens. They shoot a cop's car with paintballs, and his car breaks down, and then he fixes it, and then it breaks down, and he fixes it.
Yeah.
He yells at his friends.
He decides he's going to go the route of, I'm going to put it out myself. And everybody's like, that's the right way to do it.
Yeah. His mom is getting evicted, and she's like, you got to start helping out.
But then she wins bingo. It doesn't matter.
Get a fucking job. And then she wins bingo, and it doesn't matter. And
nobody needs to get a job anymore because of bingo.
Nobody needs to get a job anymore.
And the gay guy at work that he keeps defending is the one who covers his shift long enough for him to go rap battle.
He rap battles Exhibit at work.
Yeah, because Exhibit keeps ripping on the gay guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, stop ripping on the gay guy. Also, cover my shift. He's like, you know what? Yeah, you defended me against Exhibit. I'm going to cover your shift. Exhibit also, highlight of the film, should have had him rap battle at the end, not at work. I found him to be way more of an entertaining rap battlist than the
Captain
folks.
America,
Yeah.
The rap battle happens.
Yeah, my motto, fuck lotto. I'll get the 7 digits from your mother for $1 tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I do live in a trailer park with my mom. One thing I definitely want to note about the rap battle is there's a point where in the midst of, I am white trash. I live in the white, I got a friend named Cheddar Bob who shot himself in the leg. He's even dissing his crew. Then he says, Future is an Uncle Tom?
Uh-huh.
Definitionally. Isn't an Uncle Tom like kind of like a kiss ass to white people, right? Like that's the idea. It's a black person that's trying to like...
I believe so, yeah.
Something like that. What white person does Future hang out with besides Cheddar Bomb and Eminem?
I think it's just people are saying that because he's always trying to put Eminem up. Like he's always trying to get him in the battles and to yada and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out like at what point is he displaying Uncle Tom behavior? Like I just thought it was a crazy stray to throw Future's away. But okay.
Yeah, I think it's just a
I'm still saying a little out of pocket. I don't think Future deserved that one.
It's a little out of pocket, but the other guy was going to say it. Would say something like it.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Anyways,
when I saw this clip from this movie all the time after not seeing it for forever. I always really liked how like strung out and tired Eminem looked.
Yeah.
But then watching it now, I'm like, oh no, he just has a black eye because he got punched.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, so and so did fuck my girl. I'm still standing here screaming, "Fuck the free world." Yeah, it's crazy. It's good.
Pretty good.
It's good.
Pretty
it's
good.
Good. It's good stuff.
But also,
fuck a beat, or whatever. He's like, I'll go acapella. Fuck a clock. Fuck a doc. Fuck a papa doc, or whatever.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But even here, every time I hear Eminem rap, all I can think of is...
That's an awfully hot
coffee pot.
Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not. There's a point in that rap where he also says, I got an attitude. I just might squeeze a boob. I swear to God. You can look it up.
I know.
It's good.
I just had forgot about it. But I do. It's something I was thinking about during this movie. I just genuinely like Eminem. I think Eminem just has a good voice.
Yeah.
Like when he it's like at the beginning, he's yelling at Michael Shannon. He's like, hey, fuck you, man. It's just something about like... just his enunciation and his tone. I'm just like, that's just a good voice. I just like it. I don't know why. I just like it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think there's some stuff. There's definitely some stuff in the way back that's worth the respect. Even like when I listen to, I think it's My Name Is, and there's that point where he's like, he's talking about like being confused and stuff like that. He says like, I just found out my mom does more dope than I do or something like that. And I was like, damn, that's some sad stuff, Eminem. Some sad stuff, buddy.
What you been through, man?
What you been through? Clean out your closet, buddy. Let's hear it. Well, anyways.
Also, like at the beginning, he's working at Little Caesars. I don't know why that was funny to me.
I think ultimately, though, I'm giving this one a little bit lower. I'm feeling like more like a C- D+ range for this one. I think it's not. I didn't have as much fun with it. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, though. But it's I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're agreeing. I would say, you know what? I'm going to give this one a C-. Bump Four Brothers up to a hard C for me.
Okay.
Because I like Four Brothers a little bit more. But
I would say I like Four Brothers a decent amount more personally, but yeah. I hear you. So hard C on that, and double C- on this number. Okay. Well. Next week, huh?
Let me check the old calendar.
Do you want to go Christmas, or do you want to do more like a Tron Sling Blade thing? Or?
We're gonna have to do Christmas because it's it's gonna come out on the 23rd, and the one after that's gonna be January 6th. So it's got to be our Christmas episode.
Okay.
So you want to watch It's a Wonderful Life again? Damn, what Christmas movie do you want to watch, Chris?
It's a great question.
Let me see.
Great question.
Christmas movies.
I mean, we've done Jingle All the Way. We've done the
Charlie Brown.
We've done It's a Wonderful Life.
This is fucked up.
What?
I googled Christmas movies. Google immediately says here top Christmas movies. It's fucking this one with Jack Black that's going to come out, some Netflix thing, this Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds thing. These are not the best Christmas movies.
No.
These are just...
Christmas movies.
No. Okay, let's go. Rotten Tomatoes, 100 best Christmas movies. Please don't start at 100. Cool. Starting at 1. Would you believe that number 1 is not It's a Wonderful Life?
What the fuck is Meet Me in St. Louis?
What is Meet Me in St. Louis?
A disarmingly sweet musical.
I'm going to pick The Holdovers.
Okay.
Because I've been wanting to see Have you seen it?
Yeah. We always do one Christmas movie, so The Holdovers it is.
Is The Holdovers not a Christmas movie?
I think The Holdovers is a Thanksgiving movie, but we can do The Holdovers is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Isn't that the one with Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, I thought they were there over Christmas break.
Look it up.
I'm looking at it right now, and the poster is them standing inside of a broken Christmas tree ornament. So I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a better idea?
No. What I'm saying is we always watch one, so that's the one. Is what I say.
Why can't we do two?
We always do one.
But I want to do 2 maybe.
It's easier around the holidays.
Chris, I like doing fucking this podcast with you, man.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll do a little table talk. We might have to do 2 episodes in preparation for Zeta being here.
Okay.
So if you want to cram 3 movies in and do 2 separate recordings.
Edward Scissorhands.
Before the 20th. So we have 2 weeks to watch the Holdovers and then let's say Tron and Sling Blade, and we'll record those 2 episodes before the 20th. Is that cool?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, even if it's the down to the wire, like the night of the 20th, we're fucking doing both episodes, that's fine. Because the Christmas one's usually shorter. We just do the one movie, and it's like, hey, Merry Christmas. But you got to watch 3 movies in the next 2 weeks.
I think I can handle it.
So, there you go. You're getting an inside look. We're doing the Holdovers. And we're going to do frickin' Tron and Sling Blade.
I'm looking at this picture for... It's like... poster for the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah. Didn't we do that for the podcast or no? We just watched that as friends years ago.
Yeah, probably. But this
crazy.
looks like a DeviantArt Rule 34 like fan fiction of like a pregnancy fetish thing, but for Tim Allen, it's gross to look at.
Next year we got to lock in on that one.
Okay.
That's my pick for next year.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's that Mattress Man. If you need more soup, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to our website, eatingsoupalone.com. And until next time,